Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey-oh! Hey-oh!
Get it, Maz.
How about it?
Pop that booty, Maz.
Hey-oh!
Pop that booty,
Maz. Easy win. Welcome in, Lions post-game show on Woodward Sports. Stick, my man. Anson, my other man. JB in the booth. Lukey playing injured. Easy in the house.
We're all
Booner
over from my
in the
birthday
house.
last night. Yeah.
Happy birthday to Stick.
Yeah.
That's your birthday present.
I turned 42 years old yesterday. What did the Lions do? What was their present to me?
42.
They went out and put up 42 on the fucking
Bam,
scoreboard.
bam.
That is how
Nice.
we do it, Detroit.
Bam.
Very nice.
Bam.
It's
42-24 to final, in case you fell asleep or something. Teddy Bridgewater got in the game.
There we
I said
go.
he was getting in the game.
what are we experiencing right now, man? Like, it
I
seems
don't
like
even know.
every week I come in here and we got more and more comfort time, right? You know, we haven't really had a game on edge since Seattle. The Lions came out today, absolutely dominated that first half. The defense played phenomenal. Turnovers. I mean, the interception by Hutchinson, the one-armed reach after shoving the tight end and then taking that ball.
Just
then
give me
the
that ball.
offense puts it in the end zone. 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns for the first time since 1962.
I was born that year.
That's how long it's been,
That's my
folks.
year.
That's
Look at
how
me.
long it's been, folks.
Look at me.
Right.
Lots of birthday fun today.
Anson, midway
awesome,
through,
man.
you said, wake me up when it's playoff time.
For real, man.
That's awesome.
Are these second halves just going to be boring for the rest of the year? Do we got to get ready for the playoffs this early? Because it was so in hand and so under control that, I mean, like last week, we were bullshitting the whole second half. We weren't even that fixed.
Hey,
Lukas?
at least they held the ball in the third quarter, right? This time, made a few first downs.
If you are going to knock the Lions, the one thing they haven't been able to do this season is get the ball on their first possession of the second half and do something.
I have
with
an
it.
idea, by the
They
way.
moved it today. They didn't end up scoring on that possession, but at least they moved the ball. What's your idea, Maz?
You ready?
Yeah.
Take the opening kickoff. Kick away in the second half. You don't need the ball to start the second half. You're a much better team starting the game. Take the freaking ball and put your will and knock their ass back. Take the ball and let the defense start the second half.
But
on the
either
field.
way, you're still going to have a first offensive possession the
I understand,
second
but-
half, and
but
you still
maybe-
got to do something
But
with
maybe
the
it
ball.
just takes some time to get going. They haven't done anything. This is the fifth game.
Let's not focus on that,
I
okay?
know.
I mean,
Great
if we're going
win.
to get negative, that's
No,
the
no,
one
no.
thing you can focus on.
No negative.
But can we talk about Ben Johnson pulling some things out of his
man.
bag today?
What a fun
double
game.
reverse flea flicker after a turnover. That is how you step on
Snapping the
people's
ball
throats.
between
So, yeah.
Jared Goff's legs directly
I know.
to David Montgomery.
It took the words
King
right out of my
them all.
mouth.
But that is the killer instinct that the Lions have been missing my entire life.
For
Like
sure.
my entire life. And me and D-Mac are always sitting here watching these games. I'm like, you got to put your foot on their throat. You got to do it. And that's what you do. Quick change turnover. You run a razzle-dazzle play. And it's not like you were running it just to be cute. You were running it because it was a quick change for the defense. They're scrambling. You know they're going to be over-aggressive. And next thing you know, Laporta, who is closing in on offensive rookie of the year if it
No
wasn't
doubt.
for one Ohio
No
State
doubt.
quarterback doing okay right
Hey,
now.
he didn't hit 5 catches today, but
Oh,
he had
no.
2
They
touchdowns.
didn't need him.
He had 2
They
touchdowns.
didn't need him.
And he blocked his ass off. Remember that swing screen to David Montgomery? And Sam Laporta just bodying the DB out there, setting an edge. I mean, he does it all. Last week he was boxing out Kenny Clark, setting an edge. So he's not only a versatile receiver, but he knows how to get in there and make a difference in the run game as
You know
well.
who else is blocking?
J-Mo!
J-Mo's blocking.
Welcome back, J-Mo!
Right.
You know what they told him?
What?
You want to catch the ball? Go block. And he is blocking. The first touchdown, he literally followed David Montgomery into the end zone, out sprinting the Carolina Panthers defenders. Did you see that one? That means to me, that this guy, he's fine. He's 100%. Once they get this guy involved in the offense, they won today without Amon-Ra St. Brown and without Jahmyr Gibbs. And that's pretty damn good.
And to pull a Neil Rule, I was told earlier in the season that if Amon-Ra St. Brown goes down, this wide receiver crew cannot handle anything. Now, let me preface all of this by saying they were playing the 0-4 Carolina Panthers.
I don't care.
Okay?
They beat our ass last year.
Yeah,
A win is a win is a win.
Last year, and B, this is what you're supposed to do to those teams.
Yep.
This isn't supposed to be a close game. This isn't even supposed to be a conversation. And the Lions are now that team where they're putting their will on other players.
We talked the last couple of weeks about this team being the hunted and how they would adapt to this in-game. Get up early, shut the door, step on their necks. And now they've done that 3 weeks in a row. Sure, you got a couple extra points on the board from the Green Bay game and as well as some garbage time touchdowns here. But what this team is learning to do right now is something that this team hasn't been afforded in 2 decades. And that's being the lead cat, being tracked, and still slaughtering anybody coming after you.
Well, we've been talking about that since week 1. They're now the hunters, not the hunted. And Dan Campbell responded to that this week. He was asked the question, and it was, well, if we're the hunted, you ain't got to look far. We're going to be on your doorstep when you open.
We're going to be right there.
God, I love this man.
I do.
I love this man.
You know who else loves him? Our chat loves him, and it's open for you guys. The phone lines are open. Talk to JB. He'll put you through to us, 313-552-6322. We'll put it up on the chat for you. I did as well.
Right,
look back at it. And a lot of people on the chat were loving our chant for Booner to win his bet.
Yeah.
What were we saying?
Jerry.
He needed a half a tackle. And what did he get, Anson?
Right, that half tackle, exactly.
He got that half
They
tackle.
ran that play right to
game.
him, and it wouldn't have happened had they not gotten the delay of game.
I
It
know.
couldn't have been
It
more
just
perfect.
worked out beautiful.
That Woodward manifestation, baby.
And now
Unbelievable.
next week, I still want to focus on this game, but next week the Lions getting flexed to
Another
a national
South team.
televised game, going down, taking on your boy, Baker Mayfield.
Playing good.
He is playing
He
well,
is.
but the Lions are playing exceptional,
Yes.
and we've seen them travel. We've seen them go on a road, and I'm anticipating Honolulu Blue taking over that entire stadium again. Because if you looked at the schedule, where do you want to travel? You're gonna go
Oh
to
my God.
Baltimore?
Let's go to T-Bay, man.
There's
I'm
no
down.
better place.
A little better than Lambeau.
No better place. Go sit in the ship. Go
That's
sit
right.
in a freaking ship and
down.
silence those cannons because Baker Mayfield's going to be running for his life
Justin
next
Fields
week.
almost won in Tampa Bay not a couple weeks ago.
What was that?
Justin Fields and the Bears almost won
That's
in Tampa
right.
Bay a couple weeks
That's
ago.
right. If Justin Fields could almost win, we certainly
I'm
can
not gonna
almost
lie.
win.
I'm feeling a little bit of a trap.
Oh,
Might be a trap game here. This falls into that category where everybody wrote Tampa Bay off to start the season. Everybody wrote Baker Mayfield off years ago.
Not me.
But the guy had a very strong finish last year with the Rams. He is the guy in Tampa Bay. He's taking the reins. He's got
They love
plenty
him.
of weapons. Yeah, and they've got a good defense. This is not a game the Lions can take lightly. Not at all.
No game the Lions take lightly.
They sure don't
and,
seem
and I
to.
don't think Dan Campbell will ever. Honestly, I think the lesson against Seattle taught them a lot, and we talked about that after that loss. Like they got a little full of themselves. They went on the road in Kansas City, and it was like, all right, we are that team. All the offseason hype. We beat the world champs on the road. Now we got home. They may have taken that for granted.
Yeah. No
And
champagne. No champagne till the Super Bowl, boys.
But sometimes there are good losses in sports. It can refocus you. It can humble you. And I think that they're going to use that. Like, hey, you really – and remember we talked about after the postgame when Seattle players were taking the ski mask, putting them on in your building.
They beat our ass.
They didn't. It wasn't
Well,
an
they beat
ass beat.
us.
It was
They
a
beat
good,
us.
It was a good game. They
Yeah.
beat us in
We
overtime.
gave it away to them.
We
gave it away.
Dan Campbell got conservative, which we haven't seen since. I think that was a lesson
Oh,
learned.
no, he didn't go conservative. He went nuts because he went in his own 40-yard line to give the ball to them on a short field.
He went conservative at the end of the game, playing for the field goal,
Correct.
not to win. That's
Correct.
what I meant by conservative,
Yes,
and that's not what I expect out of my Dan Campbell.
No.
My Dan Campbell wants to win at all costs.
Not my Dan.
Not my Dan Campbell.
It is what it is, guys. It is what it is.
This coaching and the scheming has truly evolved with this roster. This roster was a high school roster that is now top 4 NFC roster, and the play calling
Top 5 NFL.
Yeah, you might be right. And there were so many people asking for creativity. I mean, for decades we've been begging for this kind of creativity, but the scheming, everything that you're starting to see is directly related to the trust and talent level that both sides have. They've got trust in these players. They recognize the talent level, and they're starting to take chances, and they're paying off.
Yeah, are we still talking about firing Aaron Glenn? Anybody
I think that's over
It
now.
never should even have happened because the first game that we lost, it wasn't on the defense.
Yeah.
The offense gave them 2 short
100%.
fields and a pick 6.
100%.
It wasn't on Aaron Glenn.
100%.
I just like pointing to those things now that we're well past it, and of course, retrospect is 2020
Yeah.
when we now have the opinion. But everybody that was sitting there saying that, talking about
That's
can you
that's
look
lazy.
at yourself in the mirror
Yeah.
and be like, I'm an idiot. Like, I overreacted. And that's the thing. This is such a marathon of the season. There's going to be another heartbreaking loss come somewhere down the road. But in the meantime, let's enjoy these ass beatings as they keep on coming.
Hey, what's a perfect quarterback QBR? Do you know what a perfect
It's like
QBR?
158.
Well,
It's
Jared Goff,
158.something.
132.4 today,
Very
3
high.
touchdowns, 20 of 28 on the day, 236 yards, and he got to sit out the last series and let Teddy B get in there and get his feet a little bit wet. David Montgomery, 19 touches, 109 yards, and a big touchdown. That first touchdown was beautiful. This guy,
42 yards.
This guy is a beast, and I got to meet him on Friday night at Lakeview High School. He and his family were coming in to watch the game. I just happened to be there when he was coming in, and terrific guy.
Yeah.
Autographed every kid that
That's
wanted
so
an
cool.
autograph. Took pictures with everybody. This guy is like, and I talked to his wife, and they're loving Michigan. I mean, they loved
Great.
Chicago, and they're loving Michigan. They're in Grosse Pointe. It's easy to fall in love with it. Once you come here,
That's the thing, right?
Once you come here and you get over the scare, we all talk about Jared Goff when he
Coming with
came to
security.
Birmingham and Birmingham, Michigan. It's gotta be. They throw it down there. Oh no, it looks pretty nice here. Oh, I think we'll go to Birmingham Roast and hang out. Me and my wife.
And you know what? What all else is going to come from that is other free agents seeing that.
Yes.
Because word gets out. These guys talk to each other.
Sure.
Like, hey, I lived in Chicago, the number 2 market, number 3
Yep.
market. Not as cool as living in Detroit.
This is
And
awesome.
it's a better culture.
This is a little Chicago. It is.
No,
It's-
fuck Chicago.
No,
Look,
Chicago's a great city.
Chicago's
Fuck
a great,
Chicago.
I lived in Chicago.
It's a great
I can
city.
say fuck Chicago.
Okay,
I lived
fine.
there. They're a wannabe New York. There
Yeah.
used to be a blue-collar city. They're no longer a blue-collar city. It's a
No.
bunch of wannabe prima donnas
Well, that's
walking
happening
around in downtown.
That's happening everywhere.
No, that's not happening here in Detroit.
All
We're
right,
still keeping
fine.
our soul. Don't
Fine.
get me started on how
Fine.
soft everybody in Chicago is.
Okay.
Except Southside. Southside, you got my respect.
As a state, we own Illinois, cities included. We own you.
How about Craig Reynolds at the end of that game carrying?
How about both
carrying
Reynolds
the
boys,
basket,
man?
Huh? How
Both
about
of-
that?
Yeah, he really looked spry out there, a lot quicker and nimble than you
You know what?
think
It's the
of when you
number
think
change,
Netflix.
Anson.
It took me a second. I was
Yeah.
like, who is that?
It's a number change.
He definitely he got quicker
But
with
how
the
about
smaller
David
number.
Montgomery running up to the sidelines? Remember?
Oh, man.
Remember Craig Reynolds wanted to come out of the game and let David come in, and he's like, "No, stay in.
Yeah.
This is your touchdown."
Yeah.
And it's really great to see that, man. This is a very together team. Zonovan Knight got hurt. It looks like a bad injury, either forearm or shoulder
Yeah.
or elbow. It didn't look good, and of course, early we lose Emmanuel Mosley on a field turf injury.
But-
So we don't know yet.
That's so important, though. We just talked about the Reynolds guys. I mean, everybody was worried about the injuries coming into this game. Could there be just enough injuries where this game's close and we could possibly lose one? All of these guys stepped up. I mean, Reynolds really, really intrigues me with Josh Reynolds being able to make these kind of plays without our all-pro
To me, he's the
receiver out.
secret MVP so
And-
far.
and
He's
he
been
was the
so
turning
point.
good.
He
This
He
is
was
a
the turning
journeyman,
point.
I thought.
Yeah, he was the turning point for Goff. Because remember,
Yeah.
even Goff's
Oh, the
first year,
comfort.
when the Lions sucked,
Yeah.
the minute he got into that
It looked
offense,
different.
they
Huge
became
change.
different.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that's when they fired the offensive coordinator,
Yeah.
and Dan Campbell took over as well. But still, at that time, it just clicked. And it seems like everything with this team is now clicking. And I was talking to Darren about it because I love picking Darren's brain, a world champion.
Of course.
You know, he knows about the culture, he knows about the team, he knows about how to win. And I'm just like, I can't really point to a time where it's like, oh, the Lions are great at this moment. The only thing you could point to maybe last year was when Sheila Ford addressed the media,
Yeah.
and after that they took off,
They
putting
did.
her ass on the line behind Dan Campbell. But
Lion fans.
but building building the roster the way they have, getting the salary cap under control. What's the most exciting thing about this isn't going to be a Rams one-off.
No.
This is an established,
large
well-drafted, large window. That's a great way to put it. There's a
Great
large
depth.
window here.
Look at the depth. Guys are getting hurt, and you're not even noticing it.
That's the crucial thing, because great teams overcome adversity. And this team has had a tremendous amount, mainly through injuries, through the first 5 weeks of the season. But it's just the next man up. And we've never had that. I mean, we've barely been able to field a starting lineup, and you get so thin beyond that. But now it's just next guy up, next guy up, next guy
There's
up.
so much to talk about that we're all over the place, but you can't help it.
It's fine.
Because it was that impressive of a game. I hated that they gave up 24 points, and they were mostly garbage points. I didn't like a couple of the drives that Carolina did put on the defense. And I'm not going negative here. They dominated the hell out of them.
I did 14 play drives, 7.5 minutes.
I didn't
When you're
like
up
it.
14-0, that was the one issue I had in this whole game.
But
didn't
even
like
when
it.
the Lions were horrible, they'd have those types of drives once or twice a
I
game.
know.
A blind squirrel
It's the
finds a
NFL.
nut every once in a while.
It's the NFL. Guys are going to
They
get towards
paid
the end
too,
zone.
You know, JB, we got people on the phone.
Yeah, we got people waiting on the phone here. I'll
Cool.
send you William right now.
William, where's he calling from? William,
Grand
what's
Haven,
up?
I believe.
You're on Woodward Sports.
Hey, what's
with
up,
the gang.
man?
Good,
What's
man.
up, Stick? What's up, JB?
Hey, what's up, William?
Anson in the house, too. What's going on, Will?
I'm good. I honestly think that was the best performance defensively and offensively today by the Lions.
They definitely showed out.
Yeah.
They showed up, no question about it. Like I was just saying,
Yeah.
I didn't like a couple of
And
the
the big-
drives that the defense gave up. But you're right, man. They had this game in the bag.
And the biggest thing was the takeaways. Like,
Yep.
Dan Campbell emphasizes on that, and he really wanted this team to, like, really show out. And Jerry Jacobs, had another interception. So I think
terrific.
he's on roll to get maybe 10 interceptions this season. What do you guys think?
That would be sweet. That would be very
quite a
sweet.
All
bit.
Booner
That'd
wanted
be
was
pretty
one
cool.
half tackle.
Yes, it would.
That's all Booner wanted today was another half tackle, and he got that. But Jerry Jacobs, he's like a hit or miss, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
Shows
he,
up big
He got
or-
roasted in Seattle's game, and he comes back strong against Atlanta and again now against Carolina.
But that's what you want out of your players, right? I mean,
Green Bay, too,
everybody
excuse me.
falls down. It's how you get up. Fall
Yeah.
down 7, get up 8. That whole bullshit that every
Yeah.
coach feeds you. But now when you're seeing it in real life, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Hutchinson affecting almost every game this season. First two, maybe not so much. Brian Branch doing it. But most teams, it has one guy constantly affecting the ball on the defensive side. It's always somebody different for the Lions right now. And that's the healthiest part about this defense is, again, the next guy up, but all of these guys stepping up to make plays. We have defensive playmakers all of a sudden, not just named Aiden Hutchinson. It's pretty exciting.
Who else we got on the line, JB?
Thanks for the call, Will.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
you, Will.
I will send you guys Deontay.
All right, Deontay, welcome to the show.
Hey, how
Stick Maz and Anson. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, y'all? I'm a big fan of the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
man.
Hey, man. Hey, we just coming off a great win, man. I'm gonna say, Will kind of answered the first guy. I was gonna say Jerry Jacobs been playing pretty good because we want somebody on the other side of the ball with Cam Sutton.
Yep.
But he's playing pretty good.
I'll tell you, Cam Sutton is showing too, man. He's
The
it's
whole
good. It's good.
defense.
It's good to see these guys. And again, they're playing down. They don't have C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They
Right.
don't have Mosley.
Right.
They're
No
hurt.
Branch either.
Hey,
But-
Kirby Joseph came back today.
But
That's
when
right,
you
Branch
put
was out.
pressure on the quarterback the
Yeah.
way they have been doing, it covers up a lot of those blind spots. How do you help a
Man.
defender from covering on the defensive end as a defensive back? Well, you put pressure on the quarterback. Now he only has to cover for 2.5 seconds instead of 4. That is a world of difference. Lukas, how you feeling after this game?
Oh, I'm feeling amazing. The fact that we just went in there, that game felt like the Jacksonville game last year when we just went in there and it was like they didn't skip a beat. And the fact that they went in there against a team that kicked their ass last year, the Lions were completely undermanned compared to how they normally are. The fact that they missed Amon-Ra St. Brown
Hey, caller,
and
what's your
Jared
name?
Goff still threw for the amount of yards that he did and was as efficient as he was.
Hey, Don, can
it
you
was
say
almost
hello
like
for
you
me?
didn't miss him. Now, there was that 4th and 4 where it was like, all right, if
Thanks,
Amon-Ra's on the field there, like I think
Yeah,
they get that
sure.
first down. But besides that, man, it's just
But
like
they
they
take
didn't
the ball
skip a
away.
beat. They did.
They took the ball away the next play.
They did, and then
Yeah.
just the ability that they were able to come out in that second half. Their first drive, it was a 7.5-minute drive.
Yeah.
With no Amon-Ra St. Brown.
They didn't score, but you're
No,
right.
but
They
just
ate
the
up a bunch of
ability-
clock.
They were still able to control the game without arguably their best secondary player in Brian Branch, and without a doubt their best playmaker with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they went out there and they balled.
And, because, man, as you said, we're hopping all over.
Yeah.
One thing that I want to point to, 2 weeks in a row, Dan Campbell has thrown a challenge flag that
I know.
I think everybody else knew that it wasn't going to work. Now he's doing it in the first quarter. So
The Moose called it right away. Daryl Moose Johnson. He's like, "That's a catch."
Well, even on the replays,
Yeah.
it wasn't even close. Like, I didn't even see that
Yeah.
ball touch the
No,
ground.
I
So
did
that's
see.
2
I
weeks in a
did
row.
see. I thought when he hit the ground, I did see the ball move.
Enough to overturn a call?
I don't know.
Probably not.
It didn't happen, so it don't matter.
So that's one thing. That's one thing I would like Dan Campbell to work
yeah.
on.
We haven't won a
red-
challenge yet, have we? Have
I
we won a
don't-
challenge? Maybe
I don't
one.
think this year, no.
I don't believe so, but I know he's thrown some egregious red flags. But if we're to the point where that's all we're talking about,
Yeah.
I think we're doing pretty damn well.
And it's not all him. It's upstairs, right?
Right.
They're
But
telling him.
also, he could throw it without that
I know.
dribble, too.
He could
We'll
look
have
at he
to-
could look at the screen what he did against
Somebody's
Seattle.
got to ask him. Maybe Broder can ask him, hey, the past 2 weeks you've thrown a challenge flag that hasn't worked out. What's your approach during that, and what was your thought process?
I'm sure somebody will.
I think that would be a great question because now there's not a lot to pick at Dan Campbell about.
No.
He went for it on fourth down a couple times again, didn't get it once, and got it the other times. I'm learning to live with that. That's still not my favorite thing. I was screaming, kick the field goal, go up 10, but then they got the first down and scored anyway.
And here's another thing. You got Riley Patterson as your kicker, and you had a chance at like a 54-yard field goal, but that's not his thing. So what they do is take a penalty and bring in Jack Fox. It would be nice to have a guy that you could depend on from 55 yards and out. We don't have that, but you know what? The guy hasn't missed. He hasn't missed an extra point. I guess that's how they're going to play the game. They're going to play the game with what they've been dealt.
Yeah, there certainly seems to be a lack of confidence in Patterson.
From distance.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's kind of, pushing them towards more of these fourth down attempts. And I think if we can get that great kicker in here next year, it makes us just that much more dangerous. But again, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about challenge flags and our place kicker.
Nitpicky, baby.
Beautiful.
Nitpicky.
Robert Lane on the chat says J-Mo is the new Ebron.
Come on.
Come on.
Boo this man.
Is he wrong so far?
Yes.
Absolutely.
No, you're right there. You're right
What
there.
did he do today?
Make your
He had
case,
2
Anson.
yards and a
good
dropped
blocks.
35-yard air pass that should have been a 50-yard touchdown.
So
So
I
now
gotta
that
hear-
means his whole career.
No, so far I said.
He's played in how many games, Anson?
So
How many
far,
games?
so far he's done
So
it.
far.
How many
He
games?
missed it because he's
How many
soft.
games?
He missed it
How
because he
many games?
gambles.
Easy, son.
And I can tell you that J-Mo already blocks better
Just
than Eric
because you
Ebron ever
started
did.
him in your fantasy lineup today.
That doesn't mean anything. How many games has he played? Like we keep talking, we keep giving lenience to Gibbs about not coming along yet. This is what we're seeing out of Dan Campbell and his crew. They do not put guys in positions they don't think they will succeed in. And you saw J-Mo today blocking his ass off.
Sure.
So I don't give a
was-
damn
he
if he
was
doesn't
very
have a
invested
touchdown
today.
I don't
Shout
give a
out to
damn if
Bird.
he doesn't have a touchdown.
He was
today.
very invested in the team and not his portfolio today.
Yeah, and that will grow, man. That will grow. Like the fact that people are hating on J-Mo are the same assholes that hated on Goff. They're the same assholes who hated on AG. That's reactionary. It's too soon. Give it up. Give it up.
Would you relax?
Let the man grow.
At least
relax?
Ebron put in minutes, man, in his first couple of years.
minutes.
The guy
not
played.
hours.
He played. He was terrible too. He dropped passes too. I'm sorry. As invested as he looked, I mean, well, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the J-Mo. Look, give me what you got.
What I got out of J-Mo is just like they're doing with Gibbs. They're going to bring him along. That's it. That's all there is.
You weren't
to
bothered
it.
by that touchdown he dropped?
No.
Okay.
It's fine. And a
How
40
many
What
drop
touchdown did he
touchdowns
drop?
does he
I don't
have right
remember
now?
dropping a
What
touchdown.
touchdown
I
did he
That
remember-
35-year-old slant over the middle
That-
was going to the
that's
house
not
if he
even
catches.
seven-yard-
That was
He
a
was gonna get
7-yard
lit
slant.
up.
He was about to get lit the fuck
He was-
up.
he was going
I'm not
35
I'm
no.
not saying
Did he
shouldn't
get
catch that
alligator
ball.
arms? Did he get alligator arms? Yes, he did.
Yes, like But that's his first target after a gambling suspension, a hamstring injury, and it's just the flow of the game.
I really didn't mean
He has more drops than he has catches. He has more drops than he has
He didn't
catches.
complain. He went out there and blocked his ass off just so he could
Oh,
stay
I
on the
bet you
field.
Eric Ebron blocked his ass off too, but the guy dropped the ball.
Damn.
Okay,
Catch the ball.
Maz, you got it.
Hold on, guys. Burn on the chat paid $10 to so I got to read this. He's a super fan. J-Mo can actually block, unlike Ebron.
Yes.
J-Mo
okay.
can block,
Even though Ebron
unlike
had
Ebron.
hoof hands, he was not a good blocker.
Not why we drafted old boy at 12 to be blocking.
It's
though.
one game.
Like,
One game.
it's so
I'm excited.
ridiculous.
I know.
It's so ridiculous that the Lions
It's
have this
funny.
ace in the hole.
Yeah.
They got this guy. He's in
It's
their
a
back
toy.
pocket.
It's a toy.
Right, and now they can use it at their discretion. They don't have to reveal. They don't have to
To
do
be
it.
fair, Josh Reynolds was better today because J-Mo was on the field. Okay, Sam Laporta, those trick plays, all of that
burn
stuff.
again.
There was more room for the offense
You
to
get burned this time.
operate because the defense was worried about J-Mo. So again, I said it last week. He doesn't have to catch a ball to affect the game.
Oh, that's what speed does.
Speed kills.
Like what? This is why. If you just base everything off of stats, like our boy Flannel
Listen,
said,
it wasn't my Ebron
I love
take.
Flannel
It wasn't
Sam.
my Ebron take.
But if you
I
can't-
laughed.
If you can't take context and if you can't understand the intricacies of the game and understand that there's more things,
Wait a second. If
hold
you
on,
can't
hold on,
laugh at
Anson.
the comparison of those two, though, it's
I
the same
can't because
deal.
it's not the same.
Burns paying another $5. I have to read this. I'm paying $5 so Anson can stop talking about J-Mo. We are 4-1.
Yeah.
That's
Bro,
right.
listen, wait a second.
Hey,
One of the guys at text brought up the Ebron comparison. I found it funny. My boy over here, Stick, hated Ebron, and he is so far up J-Mo's butt that he started him today.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hey, took a
Which was a
chance.
mistake.
Took a
Give him a
chance.
Is
week,
it a mistake
you know.
when I'm going to win in both leagues?
I love him being in Honolulu
But,
Blue,
like,
all right?
This is what I'm talking about. W's matter. I don't care if J-Mo's putting up stats or not. They got the win today, and that's the most important stat that can ever happen. If they go undefeated with J-Mo catching 2 balls a game, I don't give a shit.
Hey, it's been a long
Listen,
time
I
since
want-
the Lions are 4-1.
I want 10% of that $5, all right?
You got it. Well,
I'll give you 50
Burns
cents
put
right now.
$15 in already. Come on.
Right.
Thanks, Burn.
JB, we got anybody sensible on the phone right now?
I think we have a couple sensible people on the phone right now. Here, I will see you guys, Zachary.
Hey, Zach, welcome to Woodward Sports and the Lions post game. 42-24
Hey,
final.
guys.
What's up, man?
Hey, can I preface this by saying 2 things? Let's
course.
fucking go. And if anybody's out there still on the SNL after this, I'm a metaphysically sick back. We just came in. They came to our house and we laid our nuts on their forehead. First off.
Oh,
Secondly,
Put it on the table.
for the first time since Calvin Johnson graced the field, I got conviction and faith in this team, man. Those boys are fucking dogs. We can run with anybody in the NFL. We can take on San Francisco, Dallas, Philadelphia, and
Okay.
I've been saying this before the year started, but now,
Easy, son.
man, they got me. Yeah.
We did beat a winless team, but I'll take it under consideration.
So you're not willing to go as far yet as to be
Not
up
yet.
there with Dallas and San Francisco?
Not yet, but I do. Oh,
What has Dallas done?
wait, I do think we're top 5 team.
Okay.
I do.
So
period.
who's above the Lions in Maz's view?
Eagles.
Yep.
San Francisco.
Yep.
Dolphins.
No, we're staying NFC, right?
No, I'm
No,
doing the
just
whole
we're
damn
going
league.
NFL, okay.
I'm doing the whole damn
All right,
league.
right.
I got those 3.
Okay.
Seahawks. They beat us.
Yeah.
They beat us. They beat us.
You got to be
Who
in our
might- who-
in
who
our
else?
house. And
Chiefs?
2 years in a
Beat
row.
them.
They owned us in the. I mean, listen, our history with the Seahawks, we're not there yet with them.
I get it.
Period.
They beat us. We beat the Chiefs.
You think the
Are the
Seahawks,
Bills
Chiefs
better than
are the
us?
Super- I don't
You think
think
the Seahawks are a top 5 team?
Well,
Top
I'm-
4 team
well,
is what you just said.
I'm putting it now as we speak.
It's just hard to
As
put
we
the
speak.
Lions over them with their recent ownership of us.
Yeah. And the Bills, they laid an egg today, as predicted. I
Bills
said Jags
did.
would win straight up. So I don't think the Bills have it anymore, and they're down 2 great defensive players.
Those London
already.
games are always kind of funky, but
They
they
are.
do seem to be regressing.
They do
You know-
have, they got Josh Allen. If you have Josh Allen,
So were we
you
number
got-
6 then? I mean, we got Dolphins, Chiefs, Dallas,
Well, I don't know
Philly.
if I put the Chiefs
So,
ahead
I
of
was
us.
going to say,
come on.
well, if
We
he's
beat
going to
them.
use his logic to where if
We
the
beat them.
Seahawks beat us, they're better than us. Ipso facto,
But
we
they
beat
also
the
beat
Chiefs,
us
we're better
last
than the
year and
Chiefs.
then also won a championship. So a 1-point win when they don't have their best offensive weapon and their best defensive weapon. I'd like to say that at least a push. You got to give them
so
the
now
nod.
context matters.
We're number 6.
Wait a minute. I thought context didn't matter.
If you're talking about a guy who's played 3 games in 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're saying he's a bust. Like that's
I
the
didn't
dumbest
say he
thing
was a bust. Your guy
Ebron's a bust.
texted in. He
How did we get
compared
back-
him to
how did we get back
Ebron.
to J-Mo?
I laughed.
How did we get back to J-Mo?
Lucas,
I know.
will you bring some sensibility?
Yeah,
to
no,
this
no,
You need to
conversation?
detach
J-Mo,
yourself from J-Mo's stick.
J-Mo was at the podium, and this is what he said about J-Mo's return. So we can all just
Who's
shut
talking?
up.
Who's talking?
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Okay.
For me, I came into this game, I think I said this is his first one back, and really last week was his first practice since he was out of the building. And so, man, I just wanted to get him back on the grass, get him lined up, get him some runs. We gave him a couple opportunities in the past game, and now we just grow from there. So this is all I expected. Let's get him acclimated back in, and he'll get a few more plays next week, and we'll just continue to let him grow.
Who do I trust more, the texter, Anson, or Dan Campbell?
All I did was laugh at it, all right? It's not my take. Not my
But
take.
Dan Campbell
Not my take.
just explained. This is what they expected out of him. This is what they want. When they're going to go watch the tape and they're going to see him busting his ass, you know what they're going to do? Reward him next game and give him a little more and give him a little more. Like, just, God, everybody just calm the F down. This is a great time to be. This is the best time ever to be a Lions fan. Even in 91, in 93, it wasn't this.
Well, it was damn good back then.
But it was a
You were a
flash
young-
in the pan.
You were a young lad back then.
Oh, okay. So that
It wasn't a
you
flash in
know
the
what
pan. That was
hell
a
I'm
real
talking
good team.
about.
That was a very good early 90s team.
It was a phenomenal
They
team.
suffered some very wild tragedies to the team.
Offensive line.
Yeah.
Two
We
guys.
had the best, one of the top 3 offensive lines, 2 All-Pros. Get,
Hey, have we heard
Yeah.
anything about the injured Panther that had to go to the hospital?
No, that was
Young
a weird
rookie.
injury.
And he put the thumb up, which was the Mike Utley thumbs
yeah.
up, which thank God he had some movement. If anyone knows about that injury, please let us know. Hopefully he's doing well. They did take him to a hospital, probably Henry Ford.
What was scary to me is he just dropped.
Yeah.
Like when they played the
I
replay, it
know,
wasn't
it's-
like he was hit. They
it's
said it was a
terrible.
neck injury,
Yeah,
but it
it's-
just seemed like I don't want to. I'm not
No.
a doctor. I'm not. But
You're not?
it seemed more
not?
related to like a DeMar Hamlin thing last year.
CPR type thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when
yeah.
it happened. But I don't know.
Chandler Zavala, and he is at the hospital right now
Yeah.
after suffering a pretty serious neck injury.
JB, who else we got on the phones for us?
All right, I will send you Biggins from Traverse City.
Yeah, he's back. We got him back.
Legendary
Who's
last week.
Biggins? Let's hear Biggins. Welcome to Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
We
sir.
got you, man.
You know what? I'm tired of Anson's pessimism after every double-digit win. No matter how well we play, he's got to bitch and moan. Hey, I want you to shut up and listen to me, all right?
Hey, be nice.
Okay,
Be nice.
after week 3, you said, we should have drafted Jalen Carter because he had a sack.
No.
Meanwhile,
not me.
Sam
Wrong guy.
Laporta.
Wrong guy.
Meanwhile, Sam Laporta is
Give me some
first
candy,
team All-Pro tight end. He should be Offensive Rookie of the Year. You got to stop acting like a spoiled brat because Brad Holmes is so good. They can't all be 10s. Not every Christmas gift is going to be the perfect gift. But we got a great team, and we're winning by double digits every week. Why are you complaining?
No complaints.
What show
ahead.
were you watching, dog? Because Jalen Carter,
You're saying J-Mo's not good enough.
Do I get to talk now?
Go ahead,
JB.
speak.
We'll
right.
keep him on the line.
We'll
So-
keep you there.
I was adamantly against Jalen Carter. There's video of me and Sticks celebrating when we took Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, at this point I have been celebrating. I am all for this team. I have decades of bitter losses and hard things, so I am not ready to crown this team and say that they are not SOL anymore because they missed the playoffs last year. I love Laporta. I love those picks. You might be confusing me with somebody else. All I did was laugh at the Ebron take. Okay, because
But Anson, while we were watching the game and we were doing the live stream, didn't you say, "Wake me when the playoffs are here"?
Sure, because
have you ever said that in your life about the Lions?
No,
Then
man.
how is that the same old?
But
If you've never said it,
let's take a look at this schedule. And that's what I said because I'm looking at this
Just
schedule.
answer. Oh,
we got the. who do we have to even worry about on this schedule right now?
They just played their 4 toughest games in the first 4 weeks.
For sure. I mean, we got the Saints in New Orleans. They're going to be pushing to win their division.
Saints kicked ass today.
Yep, and the Bucks are. Both of those games are tricky games. The Chargers and the Ravens on the road are going to be tricky, but I mean, who in the NFC right now is really on our level?
I get that, but in your life could you ever look ahead in the schedule and be like, the Lions are going to run the damn table?
100%. But what are they going to do with it when they get there? Okay, because if this team loses in the playoffs, it's not going to be me complaining. It's going to be all the Detroit crying and complaining. Okay,
but
here's the thing.
There we go.
Here's the thing.
Let's go, Biggins.
If you go look at last year's season. Like the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Chiefs, they were like they were in the top 6 easiest schedules of the season. So it seems that always the best teams have the easiest schedules. It always works that way. That's how you have the best record and get the number 1 seed. You've got an easy schedule. It just so happens this year we're going to put off 14 wins, have the number 1 seed. And you know what? Our defensive weakness is the long ball, and it looks to me like Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts can't throw the long ball. I think we're perfectly set up to reach our stride against the 49ers and the Eagles and win the NFC Championship. We don't miss tackles. Everybody finishes their tackles.
We got to be healthy to be able to have that kind of a success in a game against either one of those two teams. I do think that Hurts has a good downfield cannon and his legs. Purdy, I think, is going to get exposed.
Undefeated.
Purdy's going to get exposed at some point, but that whole team is so talented in every aspect. This team has to go through more learning. They have to continue to mature. They have to hold serve and beat these teams that we're assuming them to beat. This should be a 12-win team, maybe even a 13-win team, but none of that matters.
The same old Lions, though, man.
Absolutely it is, because none of them matters until we get to the playoffs. None of it matters.
Let's move past the SOL thing. History will decide whether this is an SOL team or not.
I sure hope you're right, buddy.
So far this season, they have been anything but
They're
SOL.
4-1. 4-1.
What
the hell is SOL about 4-1?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Should be 5-0.
People give me a hard time because I'm not willing to remove that until we do something that I haven't seen.
He's hurt.
I get it.
He's hurt.
I get it, but I don't think those are the words that we should be using week 5 when you're 4-1 going into Tampa Bay.
Okay, so what are we using in the offseason if we don't make a mark in the playoffs?
I'm not even going that far. I'm in this year. I'm playing now, Anson.
Let's stay in the moment. Okay. Let's stay in the moment right now.
They scored 42 points.
But the moment has 50 years of build-up to it. That's undeniable.
You got to let it go, baby. You got to let it go. And you know what? I know there's a lot of Lions fans out there like Anson. I know there's a lot of they're apprehensive. It's like if you have a wife and she cheats on you 17 times, and eventually you're going to try like the 18th time. She may be faithful that 18th time. And you just hope they change. And it's so hard to believe that they change.
But it's different this time.
Everything's different this time. The ownership is different. The GM is different. The coaching is different. The drafting is different. The fans are different. The culture is different. Everything about this feels different. And I wake up on Sundays anticipating wins. That's different.
There was no sweat on my brow here at all. We were talking about window of opportunity for this team. When I'm not on air, I'm battling my buddies my age to tell them that what the Lions did was the right move. Because you could keep the characters from last year and make them a huge part of their success now and then be in a position where you have to re-sign them or lose them. But instead, we recycle them into guys that are equally as good or even better. I'd rather have Montgomery. I'd rather have Laporta. All of these guys. But, I love the window. It's more than just this year, though.
JB, who do we got on the line now?
All right, I will send you guys Dom.
What's up, Dom?
Hey, Dom. Welcome to Woodward Sports.
You guys talking to me?
Yes, sir. If you're Dom.
Okay, sorry. Just making sure. My name is Don.
What's up, Don?
Like Donnie Baseball. Okay.
Donnie
Thank you, guys. Bro, we're 4-1. We got the first win in this second quarter. We're on our way to being what we want to be. I didn't see a single bad performance on the field. If you want to complain about Jameson, fine, but the dude was blocking his ass off, and it was just amazing. It was an all-around amazing win by the Lions. But like Dick was just saying, the culture has changed, top to bottom, from ownership, which has been the worst in the league, to coaching. You believe in Dan Campbell. We got a dynamic play caller. We got a gritty defensive play caller and all the players are buying in. I mean, this is a great time to be a Lions fan. I can understand maybe where you just have that fading where it's like, it's tickling you. But, just leave it alone. Don't worry about that dick. Believe what you see.
Yep.
This is it, man. We're on it.
Good call, Don.
We're ready.
Yeah, my eyes are telling me it's different.
Hey, listen. The next 2 weeks, you're on the road. First time you're going back-to-back on the road. It ain't easy to win on the road.
No.
They are 1-0 so far.
There was a time the Lions didn't win on the road for 3 years.
I know.
Yeah.
Now, what have they won? 8 out of 10 last year and
12
out of
12 out of 15.
And 4 out of 5. So 12 out of 15 wins. That's a team that really took last year and brought it into this year.
Yeah.
And improved, adding 5 great rookies to this team. Yes, they're going through a hell of an injury bug, man. When Aiden Hutchinson made that interception, and then that punk-ass Mingo hit him in the knee.
That was a tackle. That was a clean tackle.
That was a bad. My heart was in my throat.
Oh, yeah, it's a brutal tackle. It's a brutal game.
I'm just saying.
I didn't think that was dirty.
I'm just saying, man. I just hate when they're going for the leg. They're going for the knee.
That's what you're supposed to tackle.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm happy he came back.
Yes.
Obviously,
seeing him
came
smile
back.
shortly after that.
Came back. That's probably. I don't want that to be a nagging injury. Like last year, he had a nagging injury that he carried through until the end of the year, and then to lose Emmanuel Mosley without really even seeing what he can do, and it was all alone on the freaking field turf. Field turf, guys, it's bad. I know it's a brand new turf at Ford Field, so it's not the Lions field guy. It's not their problem, but man. Grass, man. Grass.
Yeah,
There's
sponsored by Dispo.
There's too many of these injuries. Honestly, there's way too many of these injuries that you're just alone on the field, and you're done.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to him, but it
looks
obviously
looks
like a knee.
It looks like a ruptured ACL.
Lucas, we got any more videos?
Strong
Lucas?
concern for a ruptured ACL.
Oh yeah, anytime it's a non-contact football injury and they're holding their leg, it's an ACL or an MCL or something.
He
like that.
did walk off the field, but that don't mean anything when it comes to a knee
up,
injury.
but I did the same thing when I tore my ACL.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Lucas, any videos?
Yeah. We got Dan Campbell talking about Jared Goff and what he thought about him today.
Oh, so sexy.
Almost a perfect.
There's always more Goff can give, and that's a great thing because he is playing at a high level right now. He's playing at a high level, and I love where his confidence is at. And I mean, we came out saying we wanted to throw this ball early in this game, and man, he was on fire. And he's taken a couple of hits here, and he bounces up off the turf. But once again, he's playing really good football for us, and we have a tremendous amount of confidence in him. So. But I'm sure you ask him, of course he's got more to give, and we expect more. So we're in a great place right now with him.
At what point do you extend Jared Goff?
Hey.
Are we ready to start having that conversation?
I'm waiting for the year. I need
the completion of the year.
I need a completion of the year. I want to see this team in the postseason. I want to see them win the division. I want to see them win a playoff game. All right? I got to see those things. I do.
I got a question for you guys that I posed to a friend of mine this week. Aside from Montana and Young, name a team that was highly successful where the quarterback was removed and another one came in and they continued their success.
Packers.
Giants in 91, Hostetler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Packers,
Won a Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre.
Okay. Not many examples, right? So we look at Easy's percentage, when you play one player that amount of your salary, there's a percentage.
But are you saying Matthew Stafford was successful?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm saying that.
So what's the comparison with Goff?
My worry is that when you have this level of success and you try and change the quarterback, it just doesn't often happen.
Okay, so you're saying the next quarterback's
so
going to
even
have
though
a tougher
Easy's
bar.
got this number where we aren't supposed to go over that to pay him. Yeah. I'm sorry, but his control, you can talk about his lack of deep ball, but his intangibles, his ability to galvanize his team, his presence in the locker room, just when you see people around him, the team around him, they respond to him. That is something that is so valuable and nearly irreplaceable for a team that is at the point that the Lions are at. Sign him, re-sign him.
All right, I'm not going to even argue. I'm not even going to argue with you because I agree with you. The guy looks as cool as they come. Here's a guy that really took a beating in L.A. by a mental beating. What McVay did to him was, I think, was really, it was hurtful.
Yep.
He took them to the Super Bowl. He was their quarterback. He got to the Super Bowl. Yes, they had other weapons, and they lost a defensive Super Bowl. That game was not his fault at all. The whole offense sucked in that instance. But the way he treated them the following years, and then shipping them off to Detroit on a vacation in Cabo, in the middle of the night, basically, it was bad. And then he comes here. He went from the top team to the worst team.
Well, and don't forget, Jeff Fisher kind of fucked him up too. When Jeff Fisher, when they first drafted him, he was saying that he wasn't the guy. Then McVay came in, kind of revived his career a little bit. But
I forgot about the whole Jeff Fisher thing.
Yeah, Fisher buried Goff as a rookie.
What does not kill you makes you strong.
And it makes you a Detroiter. Honestly, like that's like. It's the Detroit versus everybody mentality.
Yeah.
Goff, since he's come in the league, it's been honestly Goff versus everybody. Everybody's been doubting this kid forever. Everybody's been telling him he can't get it done. Even when he gets to a Super Bowl, well, you didn't get him to the Super Bowl. Todd Gurley got him to this. It's like, shut the fuck up. I was a quarterback in the Super Bowl. I know what I'm doing. I was a #1 overall draft pick, and it's amazing. Me and Easy and Spencer were talking about this last night at my house. It is amazing when people believe in you and you're surrounded by people that lift you up.
Of course.
How high you can actually go.
Yep.
And that's not just football. That's
That's
anywhere
life.
in life. That's here at Woodward Sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
like
at
being here at Woodward.
McDonald's. That's at Chili Pepper Standing.
Sure. Yeah.
That's everywhere in life. When you have people around you that are pumping you up constantly and you can back that up with your performance, the sky is unlimited. I don't even think we've tapped into what Jared Goff could potentially be.
He just looks like a cool customer. He looks like a quarterback one.
Yeah.
He is a QB one. He is right there, man. He is a top 10 NFL starting quarterback.
No doubt he's top 10.
As we speak.
And talking about quarterback history, I mean, can you remember a quarterback that had quick success and then just got chased absolutely out of town and then not only landed on his feet but became a more complete quarterback? I can't think of anybody.
Not off the top of my head.
Maybe Flutie.
Jim Plunkett.
Flutie.
Jim Plunkett. But that's going back, to the 80s.
I mean, they threw back Carr early in his career, and Carr kind of revived his career later, but not at the level.
Not
Jared
at the level
Goff
that he's
doing.
playing right now.
Yeah, but Plunkett won 2 Super Bowls after being discarded by the Patriots and 49ers.
Drew Brees, too.
Raiders picked him up. Who else?
Brees.
Drew Brees.
That's the one.
Drew Brees.
That's a great.
So is Jared Goff our Drew Brees?
I hope. I'll take a Super Bowl win.
Extend him.
take
Just
the
based
Super
on
Bowl
that
win.
comment alone.
Lucas, are you extending Goff if you can right now?
I would have done it last week after the win over Lambeau, to the point of just, you have this team you have right now that's structurally built financially. You have the most cap space in the NFL next year in the offseason, so you can have even more flexibility to move off of kind of some ugly contracts. You still have Brad Holmes as your general manager, so everybody with this young talent that's like, oh, but you need to re-sign these guys. Even if you want to do it, you're not going to be able to re-sign all of them, even if you don't re-sign Jared Goff. So you keep drafting that young talent with a quarterback who is showing you that he knows how to win and he's entering his prime. You can tell by the way that Jared Goff moves on the field right now and how he's responding to everything. He's entering almost like, and I was laughing about it, but it's like a villain arc where you can tell he's just playing pissed off.
Yeah.
Like he knows all the disrespect that has been said about him. Ryan Fitzpatrick, flat out, Thursday Night Football, call him out in front of his face. Like, that's the energy
That's the
that
least
Jared
guy
Goff
that should be
is.
talking.
David
That's
Montgomery's
Amon-Ra
face
St.
was
Brown in his ear.
priceless.
Yeah.
That's the guy in his ear, like, you need to get your damn respect. And he's earning his respect right now. After Thursday night, I would have gave it to him.
Okay. I think that's fair. I mean, you talked about it last year.
I'm not going to cry about it.
I think Jared Goff is the guy also where if you sign him to a big deal, he'll restructure to help you out. He'll do what he has to do for the team. I don't think he's hurting for money.
No, agreed.
And I think he would rather win and shove it down people's throat than get paid.
Yeah, it's like Ben Johnson sticking around. These guys.
That's good.
We
too.
look at Montgomery. You brought up the fact that him coaching on the sideline.
Yeah.
The instant investment of these players in Detroit. I mean, you saw guys for years not be invested in this city or this team, and these guys are coming here immediately and so invested. I think that could be a great situation where he takes a kind of a Brady type contract where he's taking a little less than what he knows he could get. It would be awesome.
Hey, 313-552-6322, the hotline here at Woodward Sports. Talk to JB. JB, who you got on the line for us next?
All right, I will send you guys El Gato.
Hey,
El Gato!
the Cats.
El Gato is a big guy on the chat. What's up, El Gato? You're on Woodward Sports.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Sick, I love you, bro. You the best.
Hey, I love you too, Gato.
We love him too.
I love Maz.
Thanks,
Maz
buddy.
is a fucking man. Yo, I actually passed out during the fourth quarter. I was drinking Don Julio 1942. So I didn't even see the rest of the game, bro.
That's okay.
It wasn't much
Did
of
he
a
say
game.
42 again? 1942. 42.
El
We
Gato
scored
got
42.
into the tequila.
Yeah, he
Yo,
did.
I got the big budget. But yo, bro, like, Sick, happy birthday, by the way.
Yes,
thank
happy
you,
birthday,
man.
Sick.
Appreciate that.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
bro, I'm 30. I'm 38 years old, bro. So I done seen a lot of Lions losses, man.
Yeah, you have.
I done seen all this bullshit, and this team is different, bro. Sheila, Dan Campbell, and fucking Brad Holmes, they different, man.
Yeah,
This is a whole new era.
It's a good look
I'm
for us.
excited for it. I'm excited for it, man.
Yep.
And it's kind of therapeutic for the Lions fans, you know. Like I was watching the first half at my house. My mom's in town for my birthday, and we're watching.
Lions fan.
And
Hey, Sheila.
she's telling me, you know, because I'm the guy that's been yelled at every Thanksgiving for watching the Lions. Why are you watching the
I don't
Lions
miss
play?
that.
They suck. Why are you doing this? And you're missing dinner. It's like you guys eat dinner without me. I'm gonna watch the Lions, and hopefully they win.
I always wanted to sit at the kids' table because in the kids' table you were in the back room with the TV
Yeah, you
on.
can see
So
it.
that's what I always did as a young
But
guy.
that's been my whole life, honestly.
Yeah.
Is people just telling me and questioning why I'm
Don
a
had
Lions
something
fan.
different to say, though,
Why
right?
do you keep doing this to yourself? And now it finally feels like those people are starting to understand it, and they empathize with me a lot more. The people that used to criticize me, they're like, oh, and they're very happy for me as a fan. Not only for the team, they're happy for me as a fan. And I think there's a lot of fans in Ford Field and a lot of callers that we're getting that they've experienced that angst their entire life. And I honestly sometimes don't even know how to take this team right now.
Yeah. When I saw them against the Lambeau, when I went at Lambeau early in that game, I was like, this ain't our team. This can't be. I'm not watching the Lions. That's how much domination.
Yeah, and that's what I
they're
don't
doing.
understand. Once again, referring back to mine and D-Mac's conversation during the watch party, I'm like, when I see Carolina play right now, I see old Detroit. Like, that used to be us.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting in this hunter seat, and it's like, well, wait a minute. It just seems too easy now.
Yep.
And I think that's what makes a lot of people uncomfortable is that because it's easy, it will go away just as fast as it came. But I don't think it will.
Think about last year against Carolina on Christmas Eve when I just felt like I had coal in my stocking.
Oh, man.
They were down 31-7. Lions scored late to make it look good, 34-23. Almost identical game this time, except opposite. That's called revenge. That's a revenge game that they circled, and they beat the living daylights out of that team. Yeah, rookie quarterback, winless team. Still, Frank Reich's there. They all know each other from last year. Remember they practiced together, the Colts and the Lions? They kind of knew each other. Deuce Staley's back, blah, blah, blah. It was a blowout. They did what they were supposed to do. By the way, another guy paid. It is the old mailman. He paid $4.99 to say, we should just go ahead and pay the man. I don't want to see another quarterback, and they waste a good defense. We need to strike now while the North is wide open. Thank you to the old mailman.
Yeah,
Love it.
and I like this comment by Uncle Neil's Soft Feet.
Oh, the soft feet.
This is why I stayed loyal to my Lions. I can look in the mirror and legit say that I am not a bandwagon Lions fan, and I think that's the reward at the end of the tunnel for all of us who stuck it out. That's the reward for 42 years of beatdowns from my family, is now I can look at them, and while everybody else wavered, I can say, you know what, I can enjoy this more than anybody who left and came back, because I never left.
Hey, shout out to the Shadow Squad as well. Tom, it's me, Kyle. Remember? I hope I see you. Hope to see this comment. We got you, Kyle. Thanks for watching Woodward Sports. 313-552-6322. What other happy fan do we have on the line there, JB?
I will send you guys. Here is Earl.
Earl the Pearl. Earl, you're on Woodward Sports with Stick, Maz, and Anson. And Luke. And
How
JB.
you guys doing today?
We're doing good, Earl. What's up, man?
So something was on my mind today while watching our guys play. Do you think eventually defenses are going to catch up with Sam Laporta and start putting like their second best defender on him and trying to find ways to stop him And do you also think that they'll open up ways for Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond to start getting the ball more?
And J-Mo.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
right? Go ahead.
And J-Mo,
Double Laporte.
Yeah,
Use
go
your
ahead,
best
cover
defender
him.
on. Cool. Now Amon-Ra's got single coverage. That's what makes this team so great. Is
Marvin Jones caught 2 today.
They can beat you so many different ways.
The ghost.
And that's even if we want to choose to beat you by passing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just going to make
We'll
our
run it
big
down your
uglies
throat.
punch you in the face.
Oh
every
wait, we
damn
have
game.
Jameer Gibbs too.
Yeah.
And you watch
I hope.
Goff just constantly checking down to his third and fourth options all the time, man. It's the involvement of so many different players in the offense. It allows us to play the way we did today without 2 of our maybe 4 best weapons.
I'll tell you, man, I was a hair nervous when I saw Jameer Gibbs yesterday go down. I'm like, what the hell? First of all, what the hell happened to him? They say a hamstring. Do you guys actually know what happened? Was it him? What practice? What happened?
I would imagine Thursday. It had to have been Thursday because he popped up on the report Friday.
Because he wasn't on the report.
But the thing is,
Friday.
the fact that people are like, oh, that's might not be a good sign. Just because if you get hurt during practice, you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
and then you're
I saw
instantly
people.
just out.
It's a hamstring, and it doesn't seem awful, but they just wanted to be safe. And this is the game where you can be safe.
I get it. And this, like I was saying before I threw it over to Luke there, when I saw him going down and Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't going to play, I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't take the Lions as my survivor pick this week. I thought about it up until about 5-1 today, and I'm like, nah, the hell with it. They got this.
Right.
And then the first 2 times they get the ball, 3 plays, touchdown, another drive, touchdown. I'm like, okay, thank God I kept. Some guy took the Giants today in my survivor pool. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking.
You got any other videos?
Yeah,
over
we
there,
got
Lucas?
JG. We got him at the podium.
We got the man, the myth.
the Jared.
Yeah, it's funny. He called it off that turnover, and I kind of looked over and smiled at him like, man, I love it. Like we're trying to bump them on them, which is it's good. But yeah, we ran it against Green Bay. I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. And it was the same thing. Yeah, it's just a Sam wide open, and it works.
The Sam Laporta trick play, the reverse flea flicker.
But that's what I like. I like how they're all about just putting that foot on the throat.
That was the first play, right? They got the
first
ball.
quick change turnover.
Yep.
You go for you gut your opponent every single time you do that. Every single time.
I wanted 60 to 14 today. I wanted big numbers. I was pissed at those junk touchdowns at the end. I really wanted to impose their will. They did,
And
but I
Adam
wish they didn't score
Thielen, too.
24.
Making an Adam Thielen of all people,
I know.
just getting the junkyard.
He loves
DJ
playing against the
Chark
Lions.
The
touchdown.
He
retirement
does.
tour.
No, Thielen's a good player.
I got a question. When did Jared Goff change from Cali surfer boy? Did you see that clip? He looked like a Midwestern sun right there,
Well,
man.
it's cold out.
Well, sure, but I mean, his whole face, his whole look, his whole demeanor has changed, man. He's
got that Eminem look.
Because he realized this is a better way of living.
It is, baby.
Not some soft-ass
That's right.
California
Oh,
shit. You got to be
Midwest,
a man.
baby.
I don't know about that, man.
What?
I think I would not mind living the surfer life. I would not mind living the surfer life.
I would. That's not for me, man.
What?
I've had plenty of opportunity to leave this city, work for other markets and media.
You don't want to live on the ocean?
I got the Great Lakes, unsalted, bitch.
I like salt.
Why would I live in the ocean where I can't even swallow the water?
I like salt.
Unsalted.
You swallowing lake water?
Yeah, when you dive in and stuff, I don't like the ocean. When you go out to Lake Michigan and you can't see the other side, what's the difference between being at the ocean? You can't see the other side.
I don't know. I'm just not a lake guy. I'm an ocean guy.
Yeah, there's no difference to me, and
So
I'd
you
rather
like-
have the fresh
You
water.
prefer Midwest golf then, huh? I do too.
Oh,
It does.
Yeah, Midwest golf is,
Hey,
is my
I'll
dude.
take him just the way he is. And by the way, Eminem was at the game today, so that's
Yeah, with his
that's our
daughter.
Taylor Swift. Take that.
With his daughter Haley.
Oh, nice.
You had a whole rundown of celebs that were in for the Lions.
Jalen
Lions
Rose was
today.
there. Isaiah Thomas was there. Devin Booker before the Suns-Pistons game was there. And then, of course, Calvin Johnson, the GOAT, was there
That's
as
awesome.
well.
To see him there
He's
is really
feeling
cool.
real comfortable back around the Lions.
But doesn't
lately. I
this
love
remind
that.
you
Me too.
of when the Pistons were doing well and the Tigers were doing well?
Oh, yeah,
and
everyone
other
goes
players
everywhere.
from other Iserman used
Yeah,
to sit courtside.
absolutely.
That's something that Detroit sports hasn't had in a while, to where the other players are supporting and coming. It's been great.
I mean, we had a decade of futility for all four teams. Period.
Yeah.
You
Oh, I don't know how Lukas, JB, and anybody under the age of 27 can actually be Detroit sports fans.
Right. Miserable.
It's honestly, I feel bad for you. I'm still holding on to the 04 championship. I was there for that.
Man.
I was born in the 80s, so I remember 89 and 90 for the Pistons. I was there for all of the Red Wings, pretty much Stanley Cup runs. And I've been to so many championship parades. These poor kids, they've never been to anything.
No.
They've never even seen a winner. Like, when's the last time the Pistons even won a playoff series?
The best Pistons team that I was actually old enough to remember was like Andre Drummond and Greg Monroe years.
They've got the number
Stanley
one streak
Johnson,
right
they
now.
got swept in the first round.
It breaks my heart too, because like Detroit is such a great sports town, and the fact that these
The
guys
best.
are still sports fans, it's still Detroit sports fans, and haven't sold out like Maz, just rooting for the Cowboys and the Yankees and whoever else is the front
Mayfield.
runner.
Pistons down 10, by the way. Just if anyone
Joe
cares.
Buck sucks.
Oh, that's it. That is it.
I don't even care, but I just love your reaction to that.
You know who's suffering right now? The New York fans. They're getting what the Detroit fans have suffered with in the last bunch of years. It's hit New York. It has hit New York.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a testament to this truly being the most special and greatest city in sports. Best state, period. Period.
That's
you know?
nice.
It is.
I agree.
mean,
that's nice.
I agree. I could wax. I was going to tell a story that was very pointless, so I just stopped myself.
wax poetically, bud.
Nobody cares that a buddy of mine has traveled the world and lived in China, lived everywhere, and still he misses Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's like there's just something special
Hey,
about this
DJ
place.
Amazing, $4.99 he's paying, all right? DJ, giving a shout out to all you guys at Woodward Sports. I'm a Lion fan from California. Been here since Joey Harrington was our quarterback.
Hey,
Blue
Joey,
Skies.
Blue
We got a new culture. So thanks to DJ Amazing.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
come to Detroit anytime you want. We'll show you around too. Because if you're from Cali, we got some things to show you here.
We do.
It's the birth of
All right, now
Motown.
let's talk about next week now. Take a little break. Talk about next week. They are at the Buccaneers. All right, they're going to Tampa Bay. It's been pushed to the 4:25 start, so it'll be on one of the doubleheader games on Fox, as a matter of fact. It might be America's game of the week before you know it. It might be that. I'm going to go to you first, Anson. It's the Buccaneers at home. If I had to put a spread on this game, I would say the Lions are favored by 3 on the road. And I think I'd be pretty close.
I think the Lions would cover that spread. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think that this is a game that, well, in the beginning of the season, a lot of Lions fans were like, oh, we got this one. You know, I saw people marking this as a W. They look like a different team. This is a road game. This is a test. And I think it's one that the Lions are up for. I think that we're going to get a little bit healthier, and I think that we'll be able to cover that spread. I like a, 20, 27, 21 game. I don't see it being high scoring. They're going to a hostile environment, and they have a hell of a defense there still. Some old guys, but they're still playing in Tampa Bay.
Are the Bucs off this week?
Yeah, I believe so.
Also, they're coming off a bye.
Yep.
They're getting ready for the Lions, coming off a bye. Stick, what's your take on this one next week? At the new Sombrero.
Yeah, this team travels well. They've already shown it. They've won in Lambeau. They went to Kansas City and won at Arrowhead. I give them every chance in the world to win this game and to win it in a dominant fashion, too, because I don't think Tampa Bay is everything that everybody's making them out to be. You know how I feel about Baker Mayfield.
I know.
He's having his flash in the pan early in the season moment, and that's great. He's had those before. He's gone on 4-game stretches.
Hater.
No, it's not a hater. At the end of the day, the wheels always fall off the Baker Mayfield train, and that's just what happens to Baker Mayfield. I think the Lions could go anywhere. I think the Lions could beat anybody at any time. But as a Lions fan, I'm also cautiously optimistic because throughout my history of my life, I know they can lose to anybody at any time.
Sure. Yeah.
But
That's old Lions.
It seems like every game for the Lions this year is a statement game. Even this game, okay, you were supposed to beat them. You did beat them the way you were supposed to. That counts. And last week against Green Bay, you were the first time you were ever favored on the road against Green Bay. The first time you were ever favored on the road against Green Bay against their starting quarterback. And you do it. You go there and you meet expectations. Now
they're beating young quarterbacks.
They're beating everybody.
They're beating young quarterbacks.
2 years ago, this is Bryce Young's coming out game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we've talked about that. I think in every post-game show, we used to watch every game. It was like, oh, it's this rookie. He completed 17 passes in a row. No one's ever done that.
Matt Flynn reach around.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's like, oh, the Lions scored 3 touchdowns passing and 3 touchdowns rushing for the first time since '62. We're setting our own record.
So you got to win next week on the road.
I do. I don't see the Lions losing if they play their game.
Yeah. All right, Lukey, what do you got next week at Buccaneers?
I got to win. I'm not going to know for a score yet just because I want to see what the injuries look like, but I have full confidence. If they could go into Arrowhead, beat Patrick Mahomes, if they can go into Lambeau and lay an egg on the Packers, I have full confidence for them to go into Tampa Bay, like we said earlier. Justin Fields put up a fight. Chase Claypool cut his only touchdown as the Chicago Bear down there in Raymond James Stadium. So I have full confidence, but I don't know what the score yet. It could be close. It could be a trap game if they go in there and sleep, but I don't think they are. I have confidence in them not doing that.
JB, come to you, man. What's your take on Buccaneers-Lions next week?
I don't know. I kind of feel like Lukas. I gotta see the injury report, see who's banged up, who's available.
Get off the fence and be a man.
Just say, man, come on.
I'm just trying to be prepared for these guys, but I don't know. Tampa Bay kind of worries me a little bit just because Baker may feel that he can be dangerous if he wants to, but I don't know. I still got my faith in the Lions. Still got my faith in the Lions.
This was a game I had him winning at the beginning of the year. I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
Good.
The Ravens game after this, I'll be okay. I'll see what's going to happen. But if they can go into this game as is the way they are right now, and we all know that Hutchinson took a bad hit today. Hopefully he'll be okay this week. Hopefully St. Brown comes back. Hopefully Gibbs can play at least a little bit. J-Mo, maybe get a couple more plays. You heard Dan Campbell. They're going to put some packages together for him. I think they handle the Buccaneers next week on the road. I think they'll win that game by at least a touchdown.
Okay, I think Hutch will be fine, though.
I hope so.
They put him in the fourth quarter during dead time, so
I know.
He must be okay.
But maybe that
right?
is to keep it loose or something. But
at the end of the game.
Maybe it is a thigh. Maybe it was a thigh, not a knee.
All right.
Who knows?
Let's just skip past that because confidence is obviously high in Honolulu Blueville. All right. When's their next loss, gentlemen?
Never, motherfucker.
Well, I'm gonna look.
Baltimore?
At the
Let's break it down. Ravens following.
Yeah.
Then you're home versus the Raiders.
That's Lomas Brown night, Monday night
Shouldn't
football.
be an issue.
Not losing
then
that game.
Go on the road to the Chargers
after a bye week.
Yep. Then home versus Bears and Packers.
Win-win.
That's Thanksgiving.
On the road to Saints is a little sketchy.
Yep, sketchy. Early December.
In
then
Chicago,
at the Bears.
in Chicago, home versus the sorry Broncos.
But they'll be better by then. They'll be a better team by then.
Yeah.
Braylon Edwards has been saying it all week. By the time
Says the man who picked them to beat the Dolphins.
Hey.
So then we got the Lions at Minnesota. Now, I mean, the Lions, second to last game, December 30th, we go to Dallas.
We running the table, boys.
That's New Year's Eve.
The Eve.
Yep. That's
Panay
New Year's
Sewell
Eve.
is going to take Micah Parsons and drive him
This
through
is
the
still the NFL, though, guys.
Let's
this
not
is
even
still
talk
the
that
NFL,
far.
guys. Are they going to go? Are we really thinking 16-1?
No, I'm not even thinking.
I like 12-5 right now. But where do these losses come from?
Exactly. Where can you see them coming? And what has to happen for those losses?
I don't even want to look at it.
It's got to be a turnover-based game. It's got to be a fluke play. It's got to be something like that. Because unless the Lions are beating themselves, nobody's beating the fucking Lions.
The Lions lose one more game at home. I don't know how or who. But then out of those Buccaneers, Ravens, Chargers, and the Cowboys and the Saints, those 5 road games, let's say they lose 2 there. That puts us at a 4-loss team. You know, you almost have to look for losses right now because last year we supposedly had this really easy schedule, and it turned out to be a really hell of a tough schedule. This one is turning into a schedule that we were supposed to be getting because we were a good team, and it's looking pretty easy.
Look, just beat the Buccaneers next week.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Get to 5-1.
Yep.
That's a hell of a start.
Yeah.
5-1.
One game at a time.
That's it.
One quarter.
That doesn't answer my question, though.
But
come on, have some balls. Who's the next loss?
I just told you. There aren't one.
I
They're
think,
going 16-1,
in my opinion,
eh?
Anson, I'm going to say in New Orleans.
I'm going to tell you what the loss is. It's the Chargers.
Same.
You go on the West Coast, they
Same.
suck
Yep.
on the West Coast. I just think the Chargers are waiting for them.
Didn't you just say you wanted to live there?
I love it. Yeah, I love California. Well, I don't like what's happening in
That could be damn
California.
near a home field game for the Lions.
That's the game I'm worried about. Other than that, I'm really not worried. Baltimore, they suck today. The Steelers beat them.
I want to see
freaking Steelers won
our
a game.
Run defense versus Baltimore's run offense.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun match.
Well, it's Lamar Jackson. That's their run.
Yeah, that's also a scary thing because the Lions do have difficulty containing those running QBs.
Baltimore has 20 consecutive games with over 100 yards rushing, and a lot of that was without Lamar. They have a good rushing offense.
But Love is not. I mean, he's a somewhat scrambling guy. Ritter's somewhat a scrambling guy, but he's super limited. You're not respecting his arm. And then today it's the same deal. Just put pressure on the young guy and he's going to crumble. But we struggled with Geno Smith. We did.
Yeah. But you said
that was a great game.
You said Justice Hill's the running back, right? But while the Lions were playing, Craig Reynolds is running wild, and it's because of the scheme and it's because of the players in front of him.
Offensive line,
exactly. Yeah. And so, as much as it is Justice Hill and not J.K. Dobbins or whoever it was supposed to be,
he keeps fumbling. We're going to see a lot of Gus Edwards.
Yeah, it could be
We'll see Gus Edwards, but it's more about that scheme.
Rutgers, though,
that's all they are is a running team. So they got to me, it's going to be a very interesting matchup.
And if they get Keaton Mitchell back, they have the speedy back named Keaton Mitchell. He got hurt right before the season started. He's going to be a weapon for the Ravens if they get him back before the Lions play.
100%. Eckler's also going to be back for
the Chargers.
The Chargers. So the Lions got some tests coming up, and they're all going to be on the road.
Hey,
Lamar had a nice air day today, but they lost to Pittsburgh. They seem
Pittsburgh was playing
very
desperate.
beatable now.
Desperate.
Yeah.
They were desperate. Yeah. Mike Tomlin said things are going to change. Kenny Pickett played. He's a gutty kid. You might not like him as a quarterback.
I like Pickett.
He's a gutty kid. I like him as well. He just needs some help.
Great,
Pickett to Pickens for 6-130.
Yeah, that was the winner.
One of my favorite college plays of all time is him fake sliding and then smoking
that
the
just
defense.
showed you he's got the smarts.
Oh, my God.
That was a great play.
that play right there sold you.
It did.
He's running much life out there. Oh, shit, I don't want to slide.
I'm not married to the guy. I just thought that was a sweet play.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not, but to see that play and be like, now that's a ball play. He probably didn't even mean to do it.
Hey, guys, just to give you.
And it worked.
Hey, around the NFL right now, the 4 o'clockers, Broncos lead the Jets 10-8 right now, and they're wearing all orange with their white helmet. Ooh. They look sweet, by the way. Bengals 17-14 over the Cardinals. The Rams are hanging in there with the Eagles. We said the Rams are going to be a good underdog today. 17-14 Philly. And the Chiefs 10-6 right now over the Vikings. Do you know Patrick Mahomes has never beaten the Vikings?
Really?
They don't play a lot, but he's never beaten the Vikings. The only team he has not beaten.
What's Josh Dobbs looking like right now?
Josh Dobbs, I do not know.
Dobbs is having a decent day. I know
he's been balling out lately.
7 for 17, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick.
Former Lion, practice squad.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
No yards rushing.
Yep. Hey, guys.
Well, boys.
Thanks for showing on Stick's birthday. We got it for him. Lions 42.
42 for
Carolina,
my 42nd, baby.
24, but a lot of junk touchdowns at the end. Anson, thanks for coming, buddy. Love talking with you. Appreciate
Likewise,
you. JB,
friend.
Thank you for all your hustle. Luke, playing on the injured list. He's back. Stick, happy birthday, bro.
Before we get out of here, our rookie Piston just sent us into overtime, Asur Thompson, who may be the real deal.
We were down 24.
Exactly, the Pistons coming
He is the real deal.
Did they
he
outscore
is
the
the
Lions?
real deal.
Huh?
Did the Pistons outscore the Lions?
They have 122
okay,
points.
they did. All right, good.
So yes, that's a yes.
Hey guys, tune in tomorrow. We got you covered. The Lions insiders, of course, and then Jeff and the gang, Jeff and Sam. Sam's going to be all pumped up for you tomorrow on the morning show.
Sam is rock hard about Aiden Hutchinson still.
They're going to be at Feldman tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. BDE after that, Ermanni, Edwards, and me. Then the heavyweights, then Booner and Broder. We got you covered here on Woodward Sports. Stick, happy birthday, bro.
Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you, Lions.
Go Lions, everybody.
Proud Aiden Hutchinson.
Jerry.
The Detroit Lions are 4-1, and listen, this is a weekly tradition now. Cheers. Listen, Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce, never heard of him. Sam Laporta is the best tight end in the NFL. And listen, Jerry Jacobs, apologize on social media. Listen, you're elite. Elite, Jerry. 4-1. Cheers, baby. Yeah. Ah!